I'm a musician, so I have my guitar. I wanted to be a part of building it. I wanted to get my hands dirty. Gives this guy a lot of views looking at all the deer that pass by. I've even washed my dog in here. If you feel a little crazy for doing it, that means you're doing something right. Hi, my name is Carly. This is Grace, and welcome to my tiny house. Come on in. So when you walk into my house, you actually walk into the heart of my home. This is my kitchen. I put this in the middle of my home so I didn't have to crouch down. And what you're seeing here is a butcher block countertop. I bought this from Home Depot and stained it and sealed it. And then my cabinets, I wanted open cabinetry so it didn't feel so closed in on the walls. So I have a bunch of storage containers, and I really like to keep things as simple as possible so I can see everything, so I remember everything that I own, and if it starts to get cluttered, I usually give something away. A little trick for tiny house and like van life is everything needs to have multiple purposes or multiple uses. So this is my drying rack on my sink, and then also a cutting board that lifts out. So I have actually a bigger sink than I've ever owned in any of my homes inside my tiny house, and it's really deep, so it's great to hide dirty dishes when company comes over, or to even do like little pieces of laundry. I've even washed my dog in here, so this is a nice sink to have. I did not want to compromise on my sink, so this is what I decided to get. And then outside my window, I actually hung, and I'll show you in a little bit, a little herb garden out there. So when I'm cooking, I can grab some of my herbs right out my window. Underneath, I store my garbage, any cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, anything like that down there. And then over here, I have my electric stove top. So my whole house is electric, no propane or anything like that. So electric stove top that I actually built into this drawer. So this drawer is actually not usable, but I have a stove top, which is nice. And then underneath here, I have a water heater, which is fantastic. I can take like a half an hour shower, nice and hot, and I don't really have any issues with that. That water heater also can hold water for my combo washer dryer unit. This was another thing that I didn't want to compromise on. I didn't want to have to bring my laundry outside to a laundromat or anything, so this was a great answer. A tip for the wash machines though, you have to make sure they're level or else they will shake your entire house. So I learned that really quickly, but once it was level, it was great, and I can do laundry inside my tiny house. And then I do have an oven. It's just a toaster oven that I was gifted by one of my cousins. And then my fridge is a 7 cubic feet fridge, and it's more than I need. I could definitely go a little bit smaller. My favorite part about my kitchen is probably the color of my cabinets. It's like this nice country powder blue that gives it a little bit of color, but kind of keep things nice and light and open, so the space looks a lot bigger. Welcome to my living room section of my house, just a few steps away from my kitchen. Underneath here, underneath this, it's underneath a loft. So my bedroom is upstairs, and this is my living room. I chose to place my living room underneath a loft because most of the time, all that you do in here is like sit. So I thought that that made a lot of sense. And I do have 2 large windows, which brings in a lot of light. And it gives this guy a lot of views looking at all the deer that pass by. And in here, I do have a couch that I got new because it has a bunch of storage in it. So underneath here, it has this pull-out, and it pops up, and so this can actually sleep an extra person. Or if you want to do like a movie night, I have a little projector that can project on that wall of just white shiplap. This is a really good way to just lounge. And then underneath my dog Gray's, over here is another piece of storage where I keep all my shoes and then all of my like bulky clothing like jackets and sweaters and such, backpacks and stuff like that. Over here I have this awesome kitchen table that pulls out with these little chairs. I got this off of Amazon for under $100 and it is one of my favorite pieces of furniture that I have because it has so many uses. It can open up so I can seat 4 people, pull it into here and 2 people can seat here and then 2 people can sit on the stools. And then it's also like my little desk when I work from home. So I have my kind of like a junk drawer because everybody needs a junk drawer, 2 junk drawers maybe. But yeah, that all fits together and it rolls out. So it's really easy to move. The wheels lock and I can really use this wherever if I want to craft, if I want to read, if I want to host. I wanted to live out here in Colorado and start a business and start a more sustainable life. As a young 20-year-old, that was really hard to do if I didn't have a option of an affordable housing like tiny living. So this was a big answer to, honestly, a financial burden of renting again and just getting caught in that cycle of what felt like my money just going down the drain. Now I have something that is an investment that I know I'll be able to use going forward in my life. This little nook in my tiny house is located underneath my stairs. I have this little system here that works for now, and I have my library here and my vinyl player, and then I am a musician, so I have my guitar and my amplifier. For a little while when I first moved in, these were actually up in my loft, and I found that I was not playing as much as I really wanted to. I found that I really wanted my guitar out on display and accessible so I could just pick it up off of the hanger and then turn my amp on, and then I can, you know, play with my dog on the couch. This is my bathroom. My bathroom size is 3 feet by 8.5 feet. I decided to keep it white in here again just to make it look really open. And what's really cool about my bathroom, it is 100% waterproof. So the floor is waterproof and the walls are waterproof. It looks like it's shiplap, but it's actually PVC piping shiplap. This idea came from my dad. He was looking around Home Depot and he saw this material and we just thought it was a great idea to put it in the bathroom to make it waterproof. So it's on the ceiling, it's on the walls, and then it's also above my shower. And then something that's really cool about my tiny house that I was not willing to compromise on was a flushing toilet. I wanted to be able to have my brother and sister over. I wanted to be able to have guests over and not have to coach them through a composting toilet. And so I installed this Glacier Bay, very standard flushing toilet, and then have it plumbed just underneath my house going into the plumbing hookup or septic hookup that I have where I'm parked. And I've had no issues with it. The only thing about having a bathroom inside your tiny house is there's not much privacy. I have a barn door that slides through. It doesn't lock, so definitely not a lot of privacy, but when it's just 1 or 2 people in here, it's really not a big deal. I also wanted to have a sink in my bathroom so I could wash my face, brush my teeth with a mirror instead of in my kitchen sink, which I know a lot of people do. And I found this really short bathroom vanity, and I liked it kind of had the same vibe as my kitchen. And then, yeah, it has that same powder blue as my kitchen cabinets down here. I have for privacy this almost like sticky stained glass that I've really liked. I have it also up in my bedroom loft, and I find that it gives me just enough privacy in my bathroom. And I like keeping this one open so that a lot of light gets in. So it just keeps this room looking a little bit bigger and a little brighter. And then I do have a fan and a light. My shower is just a standing shower. It takes up maybe a third of my bathroom, and I'm really happy that I chose this shower. I would change having a bathtub. I would like to have a bathtub instead of just a standing shower, but that's what my big sink is for. Above my bathroom is an extra storage loft. It can fit a twin size bed up there, so in the future, if I ever need that space as my life is growing, I can always throw an extra bed up there. But right now, I use that storage for linens, toiletries, extra baking supplies, toolboxes, that kind of stuff. Ski boots, anything like that that I don't need to get to, I like to throw up there. This wall I knew I wanted to use for some kind of space, so for now I have this fruit hanger, which is really nice. It keeps everything out of the way. And then a little organizing board. I feel like this is something that kind of makes it feel lived in and homey, with a little calendar and, I don't know, a little goal board. Over here is my staircase to my loft. I wanted to create some stairs that both myself and my animal, my dog, can climb up and down. So these stairs were handmade with a friend and myself. It was a lot of trigonometry that I was not used to using, but I'm very happy with how they turned out. These are stained the same color as my barn door. And honestly, I'm really happy with them. You can use the side of these as a railing. And then over here is kind of my catch-all when I walk into the house. I just have a small coat hanger nailed to the shiplap on my wall where I can hang hats, bike helmets, dog leashes, anything like that. And then I actually focused on making these stairs have a little bit of room underneath, so I can kick my shoes down under here and they can just be out of the way. All right, and then I'm gonna walk upstairs to my loft and show you how I set that up. This is my sleeping loft. As you can see, I can sit up on top of my bed without a problem. And I also have a full-size bed up here. I could definitely fit a queen, but I don't really need much more than a full-size bed, so I picked a smaller size to give me more walking room or crawling room around my bed. And then over here, I have my closet space, which is just a 4x3 cube system that I chose to use for my closet because it's actually the dresser that I had before I moved here. So it was really easy to just bolt that into the end of my loft, which then gives me a little bit of privacy and it feels more like a room than just an open space. And I have two windows up in my loft. One that I have covered with that same stained glass sticker. That gives me a lot of privacy, but still lets a lot of light in. And then one over here that still lets light in, but is covered enough so I didn't need to put that stained glass on there. And at night, what's really great about having the two windows in your loft is a cross breeze. So that keeps me and Grace nice and comfortable at night. I feel like my loft is really comfortable and cozy. But yeah, this is it. This is my loft. I started with watching YouTube videos like this channel and fell in love with the idea, started sketching out layouts, started calling around places, asking if I could talk to any builders or contractors who had experience in building tiny houses because there is a huge learning curve when doing so. And I actually found this company. At the time I was living in Illinois, and this man, Bob, who owns Bantam Built, he organized and kind of laid out this tiny house. And I told him though that I wanted to be a part of building it. I wanted to get my hands dirty and build that carpentry experience that I had zero in previous to this house. And so we agreed upon him building the shell for me, all the exterior, and then plumbing and electrical. And then from then on, that inside redo basically felt like you're redoing your kitchen, a little bit of your bathroom, a little bit of a bedroom. Because it's so small, it's very doable. And I had the gracious help of my family, my friends. So for the flooring in my tiny house, I chose a life-proof vinyl flooring that had a padding that came with it, and it was really easy to just clip together. It took me about a day to do with the help of family and friends, and it's durable against my puppy's nails, so I haven't had any issues with the flooring. I'm very happy with it. And then the walls, working from the outside in, I have a mixture of wool insulation, so it keeps my house nice and warm in the winter times here in Colorado, and then also pretty cool. Probably 90% of my house is the shiplap, and I chose to do just a white color to keep it nice and open and big, and that is all from the floor to the ceiling, all shiplap. One of my favorite features of my house is I do have heating and cooling. I bought the Pioneer Mini Split, and it has an awesome little remote here. It controls everything you need from the ground, so you don't have to hike up there. And I place it above my door. I was told that it's a great idea to start to heat and cool a house from the point of exit that all of that would run out of, but honestly, I don't know if I believe that now. It might have been nice to put above my loft so it blows into my house at a different angle, but I'm pretty happy with it. And out here in Colorado, not a lot of people have AC, so I feel very lucky to have that feature in my home. Here's the exterior of my home. It's a two-tone exterior with pine that was stained with just a light gloss, and then corrugated metal. I liked the two-tone look. It's a little earthy, a little modern. And then I have my little garden system hung on my tiny house. Out here, there's a lot of wildlife, so I try and keep that up and out of their reach. And then I have, for my trailer, covers for my tires, just to keep them protected. So if I do decide to move my tiny home, the tires are going to be in tip-top shape. And then I did skirt my house with that same corrugated metal in a white. I thought that made the windows pop and kind of made it a little cleaner on the bottom. And that just keeps my house a lot warmer in the winter time. There's not a lot of wind going beneath my house, not a lot of critters, and it just keeps it looking a little more uniform. Thank you guys so much for watching. I want to give a huge thanks to the tribe and community, such as my family and friends that helped me build this tiny house, and then Bantam Built in Elgin, Illinois, that helped build the frame and source the trailer for me. Building a tiny house is definitely a long process, and I couldn't have done it without all you guys.